Nikki iko sawa? Nikki. Sawa, tuhesabie kama tunaingia live huko, sawa? So welcome to Peace Express this morning. And actually what we are talking about this morning is domestic violence. That's one of the things maybe that always separates families. This morning we are just going to substantiate maybe the factors maybe that can lead to domestic violence. And with me in the studio is Mr. Peter Kingori from Center for Character and Leadership, and also my co-host Warren Mwendo. Welcome, gentlemen. Mr. Kingori.
Yes.
Long time. Last week maybe we had a great show, though I was away, but the show was so great. And maybe it's a good thing maybe seeing you back, maybe sitting in one table together, yeah, maybe having a common discussion. And I think it's one of the things that maybe we should appreciate for this while. And also maybe keeping that consistent. We've been having this particular show, a number of people coming there on and off, but you've been consistent, coming like every week. And also my co-host here, when I was away, he did a great job by then. Something that we have to also maybe comment on that. And also maybe looking at maybe what we're trying to discuss today, domestic violence. And maybe if I could start with you, what do you understand with the whole thing?
Actually, the issue of domestic violence, it has not started today. This is an issue that has been there for so many years. I think even during the time that, even when we were young, but we have been seeing rising cases of domestic violence in among the modern couples. And to define it, I would say that it's more like any harmful behavior against an immediate family member or either a partner. In a layman's language, it's more like an abusive relationship because it always starts with an argument between maybe husband and wife at home, and that argument ultimately escalates to verbal and emotional abuse, and ultimately that leads to things to do with fighting, to do with quarreling, generally physical abuse. But it's an argument that leads to emotional and verbal abuse, and ultimately leading to issues to do with quarreling and fighting among the married couples. Yeah.
So maybe my course would want to substantiate maybe a few things regarding to this, and I don't know maybe what he has from his desk.
Okay, according to me, domestic violence, it's like what he just said, any harmful behavior to a partner, family member, harmful behavior. So domestic violence, this is like cases like rape, physical abuse, and forced prostitution. Okay, so domestic violence mostly we find the cases in children, abuse, and marriage. Like okay, you can say like husbands. Some husbands are drunks. Some husbands are controlling. So you kind of find those husbands being physical with their wives, physical with their children. Okay, this can result sometimes because of mental disorder, and sometimes can result of stress. Yeah.
Maybe it's let me just pick something here. Maybe when we're talking about maybe domestic violence, maybe someone will maybe understand maybe the physical commotion, the physical commotion, the fight, in a lesson, like we call it the fight. Maybe if I can ask you, is it all about the physical commotion alone? That's what we term as the domestic violence, or how broad can we substantiate this?
I think it's a wide scope, but we are saying that it's a wide scope, but it all starts with an argument. Then this argument leads to verbal and emotional abuse. People become upset. People become angry. And once you become angry, you need to release that anger. And one way of releasing that anger is through fighting, quarreling, husband slapping their wives, or wife slapping their husband. And sometimes it leads to issues to do with suicide. We have seen people committing murder, killing even their love partner. We have seen people committing suicide as a result. Maybe somebody has killed his love partner and he feels like there's no need to live. So they end up even committing suicide. But in a wider scope, it also touches issues to do with rape, issues to do with sexual coercion, sexual harassment, and it also focuses on issues to do with gender inequality. Yeah.
So maybe I can just try to elaborate something, talking about maybe the physical commotion within the household, what maybe some people would term as maybe the domestic violence, and maybe sometimes maybe there are people, or maybe the individuals that maybe sometimes they are weak, even physically and emotionally. Maybe what I wanted maybe to get quite clear. In such a scenario, you find that maybe some people are being tormented so much, maybe also mentally, and also maybe physically. Do you think like this is something that maybe causes maybe a big damage in the family?
Yes, domestic violence causes a lot of damage in the family. And I think there is that fact that an African woman is socialized to stick out in marriage. And you find that due to such kind of facts, it's like the man becomes like the sole provider of the family. And so, and this is so common in our society that most women, they don't have a say in the family, and they depend on their husband to bring the bread on the table. And sometimes we who are men, we might face, due to economic hardship, sometimes it's difficult to get money and put it on the table. So I think some of the things that we have been really seeing is in the families and really affecting them, resulting to domestic violence, is lack of enough finances to cater for all the family needs that are needed. And I think this topic is very relevant, especially when you are looking at Christmas, which is ahead of us, because I think for Christianity, this is the high time that people spend a lot and forget that there is some other responsibilities ahead. And sometimes men are asked for finances which they don't have, and their wives feel like they are pretending. And as a result of that, something may jostle out, and that aspect of being angry, and they start throwing words to each other. And after throwing some words, men, sometimes when they are very angry, they use their energy. And when they use their energy, they can use whatever which is close to their needs. Yeah.
But now, maybe I just also want maybe to bring my co-host involved in this particular matter. And I would ask this maybe for the benefit of our viewers out there. When we are talking about domestic violence and maybe how this can affect the modern families, you've also mentioned something that is a bit critical, maybe talking about the season. And I wanted to ask you, are there specific seasons for maybe specific seasons that maybe trigger domestic violence?
I would say, I wouldn't say yes or no, because we have been seeing these issues concurrently. Like yesterday, I was reading the newspaper, and I could see a case that started with a husband and wife, and it's like the men in uniform, they went to look for that man, and the villagers, about 100 men, they turned against the policemen, and as a result of that, like 2 people, they died as a result of that commotion. But you could see it's just a case that started with one family, leading to death of community members in the society. So I would say that exactly that there are seasons that we have high rate of domestic violence, but Christmas seasons is one of them, because people spend a lot of money over the Christmas. If you are breadwinner in a family, for instance, and you have some children, the wife is demanding for, this is a time people buy for new clothes, they buy for shoes, they need money for their grandparents, they need money for their parents. There is a lot of expenditure, the transport. But they are forgetting sometimes, even if the government has introduced free primary education, free secondary education, there's still some necessities that will be needed in January. Yeah, and the husband may try to squeeze maybe the little coins he has saved in the bank or in the M-Pesa or whatever he has saved, but the things might not add up. Yeah.
So maybe, what do you read from your desk?
Okay, from my desk, I'm reading the causes of domestic violence, one being gender inequality. Okay, so in gender inequality, some men prevent their wives from employment so that they can be the sole breadwinner. And these men sometimes have a tendency of abusing their wives. Okay, so let's look at it from this point. Their wives have no employment, and they are depending on their husbands. So when they depend on their husbands, so they are limited. There are things they cannot do because they have nothing. They only depend on their husbands. So their husbands sometimes take advantage of this situation to abuse their wives. Yeah. Okay. So another issue is education.
So just hold on a minute.
Yeah.
I try to put this clear. Mr. Kimori, maybe talking about that kind of restriction is talking about.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe independence ratio is also one of the causes?
Yeah. I agree with that. As I said earlier, that the African woman is socialized to stick out in marriage. That means she does not have a lot of control. Whatever the husband says, it's like she has to follow. But things are changing actually. We are living in a dynamic world.
Where we're trying to relate it with the modern society.
We are living in a dynamic world. And in a dynamic world, as much as we want to control our wives, they also have what you call the human rights. They have the right to work actually. They have to like, because if you went to school and you have your degree and you have your credentials, why do you need to stay at home? Why do you need, the modern society calls everybody to work and provide for the family. And that's where you see men and women, the job that we used to say these are jobs for men. We are seeing like mechanics. We are seeing women who are mechanics. Yeah. So I think we as men who are who have a lot of restriction, we need to halt our mind. We need to change our thinking and look also as to our wives as partners in development, as partners in raising our families. They can also work and contribute, apart from controlling and say, I'm the sole breadwinner of this family. That might not work today. Things have changed. We are living a dynamic world.
So very well. Actually, we are still continuing on substantiating these facts. And also, remember forming the big question this morning. We are asking you, what are the fundamental causes of domestic violence? Talk to us on 0721 647 And also, you can also stream live on Facebook at Peace Express, at MTN Kenya is our Facebook page, www.mtv Kenya is our online link. Wherever you are watching us from, this is Peace Express. We're continuing on right here up to 11 a.m. So hit us on our social media platforms. Remember to use that hashtag face to face with the reality. This is where we dissect facts just the way they are, not the way they are supposed to be. So maybe maybe really quick, as maybe we are getting into another step, looking at maybe where we are as a nation generally. We are trying to understand our economy and also the expenditure, especially this festive season. And maybe these are one of the things that if you try to bring them together, sometimes they might not add up.
Yeah.
And you as maybe a breadwinner, you have to provide for the family, and also not only the necessities of the basic needs, but also other needs that might not be essential, but you have to provide for. Maybe looking at all things, do you think some families also, they don't prioritize?
I would say that some families, they don't prioritize. Looking at our economic survey, over 65% of Kenyan people, they survive with less than $2 per day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? And so, I know $1 is about hardly sharing.
Yes.
So when you talk about $2, it's
about
200.
yeah.
So they survive with less than $2 per day. Over 60% of modern people, modern families, in Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
Now, add some other tasks, some responsibilities, some expenditure for Christmas, some expenditure for school fees.
Mm-hmm.
That money will not be sufficient already. And if the husband and wife, and they're not grounded in values, because values make us to be human and make us to understand each other.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, if I tell my wife, today I don't have money, sometimes they understand. But if they don't understand each other, because you may be arguing that the wife is saying, you have the money, and you know truly you don't have, and you're saying, I don't have.
Mm-hmm.
Eh? You have the money, bring it. I don't have the money. That argument, ultimately, one of them will become upset.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, will become upset. And that's why we are saying our economies and our earnings, our income is as compared to expenditure is very low actually. It's very low. So what we are saying is people to look for ways of managing the little they have. It's not a must that you go and celebrate Christmas. You can eat a blend of 50 shillings and say you have celebrated Christmas, rather than spending a lot and end up separating with your wife, separating with your husband, and separating with your children. And that's where the Bible talks about contentment. Contentment. Because happy are those who wametosheka na zile kidogo wako nazo, rather than you desire a lot which you don't have. Yeah.
But now, maybe really quick, because also I think maybe we are heading where we are winding now. Looking at the whole thing, do you really think that there are some internal maybe factors in the family that maybe sometimes some domestic violence, sometimes because of conspiracy or such a thing?
I would say that I would say there are a lot of internal issues.
Yes.
And one of the internal issues is like the modern couples are not well equipped with the knowledge of resolving marital tension, and also they are not also well equipped in handling parenting issues. That's two areas that matters most when it comes to marriage. Marriage preparation. How do you handle marital tension? Because I will give you an example. When people are dating, you are able to take your girlfriend to Java, you are able to take your girlfriend to Hilton, you are able to take your girlfriend to any other big hotel in the city. But once you get now to your wedding day and become a husband and wife, in most cases, those dates, they are no more. And then the wife might be start asking, what happened? What that money we used to have that used to go for dating, what happened we don't have today? And so we are saying that looking even the society, what used to happen before in our in those early days, a man was prepared by the grandfather and the wife was prepared by the grandmother before even they get married. So that when you get married, you know what you are expecting, and you know you have some skills on managing your family affairs, rather than just a small thing you end up throwing words and the whole village gets to know what is inside within your family. Because we have been seeing such kind of families in our society. A small thing they cannot even manage, a small conflict, they cannot manage to solve that conflict. They end up yelling, and neighbors come just to find out there's a husband quarreling with the wife. Because we just got married the other day. And you believe me, Samson, domestic violence is highly between people aged 25 to 40. We're not seeing it after. Those who are 40, they are few, but it's highly between 25 to 40 years. And this is a newly wedded couple.
And also, maybe before I give my co-host, just maybe to ask a few questions regarding to this. There's something I just want to take you back when we talk about maybe yesterday we had a date. Yesterday
Yes.
that what we were going for a date, but today now we are married. The date is normal.
Yeah,
And
that's
maybe
actually.
I would ask you, do you think that's maybe additional responsibility maybe someone was not ready to take?
I would say that treat your future wife according to your current needs. Don't show
Overtreat.
Don't overtreat and show her like you own the whole world. If you can only afford to take her to a hotel where you can pay 40 shillings comfortably, rather than paying 200 and you feel like, yeah, I have spent, just take her to that one. Yeah, so that even when you get you become husband and wife someday, you not be you can upgrade slowly, rather than you start at the top and then you go down.
So maybe Ms. Hannah, do you have any question maybe before we get to now where we want to handle solutions?
Okay, questions. So, looking at the domestic violence between couples, so how do you view the early marriages? Because early marriages contribute to domestic violence. Like let's say a lady who just finished Form 4, a lady who just finished Form 4 was rushed into marriage.
Okay, that's a good question. And I'll come back to what I call maturity. You know, I say this when Jenny was alive, maturity of character. Sometimes you may look like a grown-up. When people look at an individual physically, you look like this person is mature enough to get married. But what matters most is maturity of character. And when you talk about maturity of character, it's all about that harmony between our mind and body and maturity of our behavior. If somebody is mature in terms of character, even if he gets married at an early age, then he can be able to manage his marriage, his family. But again, our constitution, I don't think our constitution has defined the age at which somebody should become a husband and wife, apart from saying that 18 years
Being an adult.
you are an adult. But having 18 years does not mean that you are mature. Yeah, it's all about maturity. And all these domestic violence, they are coming up because people are immature. People, they don't have the skills on how to manage marital conflicts. Because conflicts are always inevitable. It's not just at the workplaces. It's not just at school. Even at the family. That's why they even manifest in large numbers.
Okay, so Mr. Tangmoy, on maturity. So what age do you think is, at what age do you think is more suitable for marriage, if not 18?
I say that even the Constitution does not
That
divide.
is fine.
What matters most is maturity. If somebody is not maturity in terms of physical body, but maturity in terms of behavior, maturity in terms of character.
So maybe because you're talking about maybe maturity, to maybe try to understand it, like you've tried to explain, it's not about the physical body.
It's not about the physical
But
body.
it's the character.
Yeah.
Maybe talking about maybe now the character. You know, in marriage sometimes it's also better to understand maybe your partner.
Yeah.
So maybe when you're talking about maybe the character, is the maybe the understanding? Maybe,
Yeah, that
is it
understanding,
the
yeah.
fundamental? Is it the fundamental maturity we are talking about?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Now, having said this, maybe just maybe to jump into another discussion as we wind up. Can you maybe just do you think there are solutions to this?
I think everything in Kenya or throughout the world, everything has a solution.
And maybe they could be
Yeah.
quite a number.
And they are quite a number. And for instance, we have so many trained counselors in this country, psychologists who are so much experienced in dealing with issues to do with marital conflicts. We have religious leaders in our churches. But if you ask those counselors and ask religious leaders, how many family members have approached you in a week to give them guidance on how to solve some conflict issues within the family? Perhaps they may even say that. Yeah. Yes, we have people who are willing to, we have people who are trained to handle such kind of conflict in the society. But again, the young married couples are not willing to seek advice from them. We even have our grandparents. We even have our parents. Because what we are seeing that if husband fights with the wife runs away to his mother and father. Yeah? Rather than seeking the opinion of the wise people in the society, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, or any adult that you may prefer who is mature enough and can help you as a husband and wife to handle your family issues, rather than spilling them all throughout. You know, the more you spill it, we normally call it, it's like multiplication of those vices. Then, once you multiply a vice, it becomes so difficult to handle. But if you don't multiply to handle it in a very amicable way at the initial stages, ultimately that can lead to family cohesion and can lead to peace and stability within the family. Yeah.
So talking about that, maybe it's something that is well substantiated. I thought maybe this is a discussion that we should have maybe over and over again, or for an instant, a season like this. Maybe due to time, that's why we went at Peace Express this morning. Till next week, I'll be your sons and alongside.
I've been your host, Ramando.
And we thank you very much, Mr. Kingori, for coming. I think we should be having this conversation over. So then, at least we can put something very right. So bye-bye. Thank you for watching MTN.
You're done, it's so short.